Now, many of you know that yesterday we spoke of President Trump stopping the H20 chips going into China, which this we said last year under the Biden administration when President Biden administration halted the H100. We saw, of course, China still continuing to flourish with other alternatives. China continuing to make it with regardless of the chip holds that came from the White House. One thing so bad that this does, we know that it reduces the amount of revenues or the profits that Nvidia gets to generate. I mean, those H20 chips which they were supposed to ship from China, apparently it's going to make Nvidia take a hit of $5.5 billion, which shows you of how important the Chinese market is to Nvidia. Now, the reason why I'm talking about that, or the reason why I'm talking about Nvidia, is that apparently the CEO of Nvidia has went to China to talk with some of the government officials about the chips, right? The restrictions, because this is exactly what he said. The Chinese market is important to Nvidia, very important to Nvidia, and Trump restricting these chips, Trump imposing these tariffs, it's something that is not good at all. This is something that is punishing Nvidia, a US-based company, when it comes to their chips that are taking to, of course, China, and this is going to end up making Nvidia take a huge hit of how their profits, of the profits they generate, the revenues they generate, which is something that is not good at all. One of the things that Trump, of course, does not see is the kind of hurt that he is giving to those companies, those businesses doing business with China. Apple is being assembled in China, and obviously that assembled product of Apple, when it gets shipped out into the United States of America, it is now going to face that 245% of tariffs. I mean, right now, yes, he assisted, or he's saying he helped Apple, or he has helped Tim Cook, right, the CEO of Apple, by lifting some measures on this, on some of the exports coming from China. But companies like Nvidia are still suffering, and Nvidia is not the only company. Tesla is still going to suffer, and this just simply means that tariffs won't work. Last night or yesterday, we read that Trump is intending on using other countries to fight China. The over 70 countries that President Trump imposed tariffs on, and then a week ago came and temporarily suspend those tariffs for 3 months. He's going to use those tariffs onto those countries to fight, or to help the US fight China when it comes to, of course, trading. He does not want countries to depend or to trade that much with China, which is something that is not good. And it shows, or it might be signaling, that whatever tariffs that US is imposing onto China, it might not be hurting China, or it might not be making China to do as what maybe the US was expecting them to do. And therefore, it is for that reason that they want to use the other countries which they had imposed tariffs on to come and help them fight China. Which, is it going to happen? I'm not sure, but I don't think so, because most of these countries that were hit with these tariffs have got a close trade relationship with China, and obviously them hurting China or trying to retaliate to China based off Trump instructions. Yeah, a few might try, but majority of them, I don't see them turning their back onto China, because they know China is a very, very good economy for their country, and therefore it's an important trade partner. So this reading that Nvidia CEO flew into China to talk with Chinese officials, it is something that is very interesting, and it shows you that, look, there are some US companies that honestly cannot do that much without China, and Nvidia is one of them that can take a lot of heat because of these restrictions that are coming, because of these tariffs that are coming onto the exports that are coming from China into the US, the exports that are going from the US into China, which the companies are getting hurt by this, and it's something that is not good to see. I think Trump, honestly, or President Trump, by now we thought he would have a Chinese trade deal, but Chinese are not backing down. Chinese are moving forward. Chinese are fighting till the end, as they said, and this is making Trump or President Trump to even come with other measures of including even other countries to gang up onto China and try to help bring China down. Which is it going to happen? I don't know, but let's wait, let's see. Our favorite stock NEO today it's just on a consolidation trading at $3.53, but yeah, let's hope things get better with time. Let's hope there is a solution that is found between the US and China. I mean, as this continues, it's not looking good for both countries, but I think both countries, in as much as they might not say that they are not feeling this, the heat is there on both China and, of course, the US. US, the fact that we are seeing some of their biggest companies or tech companies flying into China to try to talk with the Chinese official, it tells you of how serious this issue is, even to the US. In as much as the US is trying all this to hurt China, US is also going to feel some pain, which is something that is not good. Something that shows us that we need peace talks. We need peace trade talks to take place, as in like yesterday, because both countries are going to lose a lot. Both countries are going to suffer because of this. It won't be that easy for one of the countries or the leaders in the countries to say we are willing to talk, because as it stands, China is saying President Trump and his administration must lower down their tones. They must show some respect into China. Then China will be able to talk with them. It appears that there's been a lot happening in the background, but for now, the tensions are still there. And yeah, let's wait. Let's see what happens, what transpires. But in a week already, a lot can happen. In a week already, bad things can happen. And this, my friends, is one thing that just makes this situation to not be so predictable at all. No one knows what will happen tomorrow. No one knows what will happen next week. Even the Trump administration, Trump himself, does not know what the next card that China is going to play, because it appears that both parties are just acting based off what they see the other countries or the other party does, right? If Trump see China reacting or retaliating, he then think of other ways to retaliate. When he retaliates, China think of other ways to retaliate, which is something that obviously this has been some back and forth, and hopefully things get better with time. We need this for companies to do well, for, of course, both economies to do very well. We need them to sit down and talk for peace, and they talk and peace is restored and companies do business as usual. NEO, our very own, is not impacted that much because number one, they're not selling cars in Europe, they are not selling cars in the US, and they are not exporting a lot of chips anymore, right? I mean, Qualcomm, yes, they're still exporting chips from the US, Qualcomm, which is something that is, we must take note of that, but it won't be that much because right now, you remember, they are making their own chips, which makes a huge difference onto the kind of chips they are using onto their car. So yeah, man, just thought I'd give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. I'll see you on the next one, and God bless you all.